Hey everybody, welcome back to Champ and Sons and our Planet Coaster series here with Austin's Carnival. As we are getting ready for some growth to happen, we got the first coaster in the Cyclone, and what we're starting to see is inflow into the parks, more people coming in. So we're going to start making some changes, right? We're going to start kind of building out the entrance section, getting rid of some of these restrooms. We've already got rid of one. But we're going to start kind of designing where the boundary of the park is going to be, where we're going to move the parking lot to, and how we're going to get that installed. Plus, kind of really redesign the entrance, make it an entrance that lets you know, yeah, you are really walking into essentially a theme park at this point, or what's going to be a growing theme park. This is not just your regular everyday, little carnival segment anymore. This is going to be big boy parkage. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what we are going to be looking at doing. So we're going to redesign the entrance, kind of how the flow of the people come into the park. We're going to get these buildings changed out. And what you're going to see is a lot of different stuff happening. So we're going to flow it in from this side where the grass is, have people kind of start flowing in from there. So that's going to be more or less parking lot. And anybody who's been to, say, Six Flags Over Texas, think kind of that style. So you have the parking lot, and really you go in through the security checks, and then it's kind of you turn, and there's the actual entrance to the park. So that's what we're going to pretty much start to really build out here at this point, is change up the entrance, get everything pretty much more modernized, and kind of prepare for some park expansion. While it's going to have that old classic feel, we are definitely going to look to really, like I said, make some of these changes so we can show, okay, we went from your regular everyday kind of field lot carnival. Now we're expanding out. Now we are going to be spreading out. So we're jumping into the time lapse here, and this is where I'm going to kind of hop off with y'all for just a minute. I'm going to let y'all enjoy some of the music, see how we get this thing built up, and kind of go from there, everybody. So I will catch up with y'all here in just a little while. And I am back, and you can see this entrance has massively changed. Now, a lot of the screens that you're seeing me put up, we are definitely going to be replacing those, so no longer are they going to have the ads. We're going to take some videos from around the park of the coasters, and we're going to add those as we kind of go, one by one here. So that's what we are going to be looking to do. So we are just kind of labeling some of these buildings, which add a little bit of an element to it. Really, it gives it more of a kind of output, a flow of it all. And I think it adds a lot actually to this whole little entranceway. The only thing I was kind of questioning is the gift shop that we have there. And in the end, I may still move it. I do like how it looks, how it comes off with being able to just kind of walk in the open segments, but at the same time, it's one of those, I'm not too sure. I don't know. I'm going to see if we have to move it, then we have to move it, because really behind it is going to be just the roadway that's going to allow you to pull into the parking lot. So there's not much you would see. So I don't actually mind having it there. It's just one of those, man, it just kind of makes me feel like maybe I need to take it out. I don't really know yet. I just haven't seen how I feel about it. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Now, what I'm doing right here is I'm setting out this separate segment of path mainly so I can actually delete it, because I wanted to kind of put in a fountain portion here in this little opening segment. One, I think the fountains are actually really good looking. I think they look pretty good. I mean, that's really the main reason why I'm doing it, is just because they do look very good in a lot of these areas. That way I could form them around the path, so I don't have to worry about people walking through it or putting in borders or anything like that. So I wanted to have something going on here in the middle of the fountain. Just wasn't too sure what was really feeling like it might work, might not work. So I'm trying out different little centerpieces, and we do kind of settle on, I guess it's not so much like a universal, the King Coaster little thing right there, statue, I guess. It's resembling of kind of the whole universal, the world out there that they have in the middle kind of thing. But I did kind of like how that fit into it, how it worked itself in. Now the base to it, I want to have just one of the, I don't want to go with one of the fancy or one of the, I guess, the little blue more modern looking ones. So I did want really to have it kind of sitting on something that would, I think, really still work with the whole fountain theme, and the fact that this isn't a heavily themed area. It's pretty basic, pretty plain. Hey, these are your brick building entrances, and stuff like that. So that's kind of what we had going on there. Now, overall, we have done a lot here with getting the new ticket booths put in, the new entrance cover going over there. So where you buy your tickets, your season passes, like I said, the screens that are on them, those are going to eventually start playing just little highlights. I think the one between the ticket booth has from the Cyclone Coaster video we took. But we're going to eventually cut one together that pretty much has them all, has little clips of people walking around the park and stuff like that. So we are going to end up having that on those. So be prepared for when we do finally change it. These little they're just fountain features in all reality. They're nothing too excessive or important, really. I just wanted to kind of make it, add just a little something else to it. That really was kind of the thought behind this. But I need to make sure these things are all lined up correctly, and two, that the angles are all actually the way they should be. Now we are getting these things placed in, and that's one of the more interesting part was with the fountain is how to fill it in. So I do have these water features. Not much more is actually added. It's your fairly basic fountain, because in one I didn't want it to be too, I guess I'd hate to say extravagant, but it's one of those that kind of just is what it is type situations. It's, like I said, more of a space filler, kind of break up the monotony of the brick buildings. It does kind of help with flow a little bit. People turn into the park, but also if you don't want to do that, you can turn into the gift shop. Either way, I think it helps us to make money, which in reality, that's what you would be doing as a park owner, park manager, anything like that. So kind of works in that sense. So we're getting these final features put into this entrance area. And we are really kind of thinking about how the rest of not just the entrance, but what is this park going to look like? So that's going to kind of be the next thought to this thing. This is pretty much a backstage area, more or less. We are going to have the staff, technically the staff would be able to walk in through there and have access to, essentially a back door to the park. So they don't have to go through the same entrance as everybody else does. So that's kind of what we were thinking on that realm. Now, as much as I love uniformity, and I think if you look at any building design outside of like super themed areas, you're going to get a lot of things to be looking more or less the same, which is fine by me. That's kind of how things would work out. But I realized I forgot to put this boundary over on the other side, on the exit side. So I got it on one, just not the other, not this exit side. So we are going to have to get that moved over here. So you see us doing that pretty much right about now. Oh, there's a little gap I'll have to close up now that I'm seeing it. That's one funny thing doing these videos, the voiceovers, you kind of start to see those little tidbits right there that, man, it's really making me wish I had seen it before, because now it's starting to bother me as I look at this. So, overall, I think our entrance area is fine, right? So the security obviously is the employee buildings. The guest services on that side is going to be the restrooms. So it gets people flowing into them and stuff like that. Here, I'm putting these planters in because I wanted to be able to give this entrance area some more life, right? Like that's really what you want to do. I want to be able to breathe some life into it, some additional colors, some shading. And right now I'll say that this is probably one of the harder parts, finding the right tree to put in. So one of those things now that's huge. That's ridiculous. I have an idea in my head. I just can't remember what the tree is called. So you'll see me go through kind of multitudes of them. But the European ash tree is actually a pretty good size. It's not overbearing. It doesn't really hide anything from the points of view where you'd be like, oh man, I can't believe I can't see that, or that really hides this. Well, no, you're not running into that situation with it. So we do plant the trees. They're not excessively large. Like I said, they breathe life into the whole thing. And eventually we are going to put some planters around this. So once again, it just continues to help to bring life into this entrance area. So everything is pretty well solidly built up. You know what I'm saying? So the entrance, we're going to have to make a change eventually. So no longer are we going to be just having no longer is it going to be the dirt path. We're growing. Now, I'm not saying we're going to put concrete in. That would still be excessive. Not that this rustic path would actually cost any more, because I have a feeling it probably might in the real world. But just saying that we're modernizing it. No longer are we going to be sitting with only the dirt path. We are eventually going to have to change the rest of it. But right now, for the purposes of dealing with just the entrance to the park, we're going to take it kind of one segment at a time. Now, those food courts are eventually going to have to move. I'm just not sure really where we want to move them to. So like I said, thinking about the park design, this is where the parking lot is going to kind of be. And I haven't decided if I want to bring a pathway behind this segment of the coaster and allow the park to circle back around that way. Or do we kind of go essentially to the top of your screen and have a little circle back segment right around there? I haven't really decided that yet. I don't know officially. We'll make that call on down the road. But either way, things can be changed relatively rapidly. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what we are going to be looking at here for this one. Like I said, those little food areas that we have are going to have to move eventually. So I don't know what we're going to do with moving them, because these two buildings off to the sides are going to end up being restaurants and a gift shop. Restaurants, gift shop, or bathroom stalls or something like that. So we'll make changes as we go. And like I said, this park is evolving, so everything we do is going to kind of evolve along with it. So expect things to kind of change. But that's really all we're going to get done in this episode is going to be the entrance. In the next one, we'll kind of finalize some of the entrance buildings, and we'll get started on maybe a new coaster. I don't know. We'll have to see. But definitely join us for that one. Guys, hit the subscribe button if y'all haven't hit it already. Definitely give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying seeing how this park is evolving. Put into the comments what kind of coasters you would like to see, what kind of coaster you think may be next, and so forth from that area. And we'll kind of take it from there, guys. But other than that, I will see y'all in the next episode. So as always, stay safe. And well, y'all know how it goes from here, right? Later, y'all.